What's going on, everyone? It's Abdallah here, back again with even more Mario Kart Tour. This video is going to be about discussing 10 potential ways that Nintendo can ruin the online multiplayer in Mario Kart Tour. Now, I know a lot of you guys are excited for online in Mario Kart Tour. We have no details on how it's going to work out, so I'm hoping that this video can potentially dissuade Nintendo from doing some really greedy stuff in order for us not to enjoy the online multiplayer that is currently inbound. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed Mario Kart Tour and all the videos that I make on it, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications. And while you're at it, if you guys find any of these points very relatable and you would like to see Nintendo refrain from doing some of these things that I'm going to be talking about, make sure you guys head on over to the settings, head on over to customer support, and then right over in this spot, make sure you send that big feedback. They are listening. And as you guys know in our previous video where we talked about 5 things that need to change in Mario Kart Tour, they're listening. Whether or not they are going to implement any of this stuff is really up to them. I'm going to give them the benefit of a doubt. But anyway, let's go and talk about online multiplayer in Mario Kart Tour. Now, a big percentage of you guys, the viewers, and just overall Mario Kart fans in general, are complaining that Mario Kart Tour doesn't have online, right? What if I told you that the online can be so bad that you don't even want it? And that's what we're going to talk about on this video. Imagine, right? Imagine you and your free-to-play account. Some of you guys are free-to-play out there. I am at the time of recording. And imagine your free-to-play account where you maybe have pulled like 1 or 2 good characters. Me, for example, I haven't pulled a single ultra rare. I just got the free-to-play Mario, Metal Mario over here from the free pass, the free trial, the gold pass. Imagine if you're going up against a Metal Mario that is at like level 6 and you're going to get all sorts of crazy frenzies because that person spent X amount of dollars summoning and summoning and summoning until they have level 6 high tiered characters. Or if they go into their gliders and they have all the best gliders, like, would you want to play against that? Would that be a fair battle for you? All right, if you think it is, then good luck, because I don't think that that's the case. But anyway, in the history of Mario Kart, getting fair matches is relatively hard to do unless you're going on like an agreeing like everyone be Mario standard kart, standard glider, and then go from there. It's 100% like fair. It's hard to make things fair in the game. So striving to make fair gameplay is going to be really difficult for Nintendo. But hey, you know what? That's why they get paid the big bucks, to figure it all out. But it's up to us to give that feedback to them. Anyway, in no particular order, I'm just going to start listing off things that I thought were pretty interesting for Mario Kart Tour. All right, so right off the bat, Nintendo can potentially ruin online if they cap multiplayer with some sort of stamina. Now, you guys can see the UI up top over here. It's got room for your player ranking. It's got room for your coin ranking or your coins, and then it's got room for your rubies. What if they reduced that even more and gave us another cooldown based off of multiplayer? If you guys have played through the Mario Kart Tour beta, you guys remember that there was a cooldown that you can play, only a certain amount of cups per X amount of hours. What if they did something like that for multiplayer? How bad would that be? I think that would make it not fun to play. Number 2 on our list, again, not in any order, is going to be restricting. We don't want Nintendo to restrict online play with friends, right? Super Mario Maker is the biggest example of that. Super Mario Maker 2 launched without the ability to play with friends, and that's like, how do you miss that at the drawing table? And then as soon as like a lot of the Nintendo fans were pretty upset about it and being vocal about it, Nintendo then took a backpedaling and said, okay, you know what? We're going to do it. And then boom, now we have that. So I'm not saying take it to social media like bring back the National Dex nonsense. No, don't be harassing people. But we have to be tactful in how we're giving this feedback. Having the restricted mode, so let's say, for example, if you click on multiplayer, if you're not able to make a small group with like a community code like in Mario Kart 7 or a tournament code like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you're not able to do that and you're just, hey, click on multiplayer and then you're randomly grouped with a whole bunch of people, that's going to potentially ruin online. And yes, some people will be okay with that. People that don't have friends that they want to play with, that's perfectly fine. People that do have friends that they want to play online specifically with, what else is the point of adding someone on a friends list if you're not going to be able to play online with them, right? So make sure that we do that, okay? We need that big stuff, because other than that, the friends list is just here for Comparing your weekly friend rankings of your scores. Oh, whoop-de-doo, I got 34,000. Big whoop. Like, who cares? Like, there's no other abilities. You think about Pokemon Go, you're able to send gifts, open gifts, you're able to raid with people. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with friends, but like this game, there's absolutely nothing other than sharing scores. All right, number 3 on our list is disallowing the use of item tickets within a race. Now, I would be hard pressed. I don't want Nintendo to do this. Like, I don't want them to allow the item tickets. When you're going through, and imagine this, you're right at the first place, right at the line. Second place uses an item ticket, gets like 3 red shells, and hits you with them, and then takes over first place to win. How cheap would that be? So, long story short, I don't care if it's a finite item. I honestly don't care if it's a finite item. And look, you only get like 50 of them in the game or whatever. So if they want to use them, then that's up to them. No, I just don't want it to be allowed. I think that's cheap. I wouldn't want to win that way. Like, I wouldn't want out of nowhere to get like a frenzy towards the last lap and then pass up everyone and then get first. I think that would be cheap unless I just randomly got it in an item box. So anyway, that was our number 3. Okay, so number 4 would be based off of if Nintendo didn't give us even more experience and or coins for playing online. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Nintendo caps how much experience you can get a day to about 150 to 159 experience points every single day of logging in. So you guys can see over here, we got base Shy Guy. I haven't even used him, but if you level him up 8 more experience points, he's going to get even more base stat points, right? And then same thing with any of these characters. Like, if you're not able to grind a little bit, like, there should be a maybe 100, okay? Just call it this, right? If there's 150 experience points just by playing through the regular courses over here, there should be another cap of extra experience for playing online. And that gives a little bit more of an environment that's more positively geared towards, hey, playing online, you can get even more experience points. So that would be great. Now, I just don't want them to be stingy about it. Like, if they don't give us experience at all and you're just racing for the heck of it for no rewards, I think that would be pretty lame. And likewise, it's the coins too. Every single one of your coins, you only get 300 per day of logging in. That'd be great if you can get, what, 150 just for playing through online? Then I can say, hey, you know what? Instead of just playing through Mario Kart Tour for about 40 minutes and capping out my 150 experience points and my 300 coins, hey, you know what? Now I can play for an hour and a half and get even more stuff. I think that would be really good. All right. Number 5 is I do not want them to force us to pay for online. Now, I made a video about whether or not the gold pass is worth it, right? And I broke down all of the information of what you get. Now, if they went on the route and said, hey, you know what? Online's only available for gold pass members, that would be pretty bad for a lot of people. And I'm not erring on the side of not wanting to spending money. No, I can care less. I'm going free to play because I choose to. I've spent hundreds of dollars on previous app games like Fire Emblem Heroes before, and I've learned my lesson from that. So, not saying that there's anything wrong with spending money. I just think that online would be ruined if you're putting it or you're charging people to play online for it. Imagine going into your friends list and because I have the gold pass and I've paid for online, I'm unable to play with people who haven't paid with online. So I think that'll be really, really convoluted and wouldn't be good for it. All right, next up, number 6 on my list is going to be fixing the lag. What if online will be ruined if lag is not fixed entirely? Those of you guys that play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you guys know that there is some lag depending on if you guys are on like hotel Wi-Fi. You throw a red shell and you could have sworn that like you see the character animation like flip of whoever you hit them with the red shell, but yet you go right past them and then they like teleport right in front of you like they never got hit. Like, the online lag in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is not super bad. It's not like as bad as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate when you're playing against like hotel Wi-Fi and like the game pauses for like chunks at a time. No, it's not like that. But the game can totally be ruined if online isn't fixed. Yes, I get that you're trying to link up Android with iOS and all sorts of different other operating systems on many different phones over many different networks. Like, I get that it's hard and the infrastructure is really hard to get right, but if it's an online laggy game, it's going to be really bad. So there should be something that makes sure that online is nice and fluid. Anyway, Number 7 on my list is, if you're playing online, I would hate it if you're able to go into a level with whatever loadout you are, and let's say, for example, you jump into a race, and these are all the online multiplayer people that you're racing against. Let's say, for example, you're on the second lap. Let's say you're on the second lap, and then you're like, oh man, I'm losing. I better dip out of here, right? Dude, you know those people exist, right? Like, I'm gonna turn off my Nintendo Switch, so I'm just gonna go, oh man, I'm losing. Here, dude, just quit out. Just quit out, right? That needs to get addressed. And if Nintendo does not address people who disconnect and either penalize them, give them a timeout from playing online, if Nintendo does a player ranking for online, their numbers have to ditch out, or, you know, something like Mario Tennis, or they have some really big consequences for people who ditch out of laps or ditch out of races entirely. That needs to be addressed, and online will be ruined if Nintendo does not address that in good consequences. All right, next up. So as you guys know, in Mario Kart Tour, if you choose any kind of character, let's say right over here for Daisy, for example, there's different tiers of how many items you can get. This is my number 8 point. I don't want to see this anymore. I want to see fair gameplay. But Abdallah, I pulled Pauline, and I paid for Pauline, you know, and like, I got really lucky, and I got Musician Mario. Like, I don't care about that. I think this needs to go away if you're playing with people online. Like, if you're going into a race, and it's like, let's say, for example, it's this New York Minute, and like, you need the most like 1 percentile summons in order to get 3 Frenzy, you know who is going to come out on top every single time. People with Pauline, people with Musician Mario, or people with the really, really expensive, hard to get characters. Now, I don't want that to be a thing as far as items go. Here's what I want. When you're racing, I want item blocks to be a single item block, or maybe a double item block. Or you know what? Allow, if there's a really like out of the way stretch, like on Cheap Cheap Beach, if there's a really out of the way stretch, there should be a triple item block over there. The first time in a series that if you want to go sacrifice your lines in order to get 3 items, then you get rewarded for it by getting a potential Frenzy. And you know, if you are Pauline and you get the Frenzy Lucky 7, then you know what? You deserve it, because that's what the luck is. So I think that that should be the way that that is done, right? Right. Okay. So get rid of number 8. Get rid of these specific character item quantities. Get rid of the 3 block item frenzy concept, and implement the double blocks and even triple item blocks. That's what I want to happen. All right. So number 9 over here. Number 9 is going to be, I want the entirety of Mario Kart's online multiplayer. I want it to be bigger than just another mode, okay? Nintendo can ruin online if it's just click on multiplayer, randomly get matched up in a random level. That is going to ruin online. I want bigger, you know, I want something bigger. I'm thinking like Mario Tennis Aces, and if you guys didn't play Mario Tennis Aces online, they did entire like seasons, which was really cool, and if you participated for the month, you got an extra character or an extra outfit, or you got rewards for doing cool things. Like, that's what I want. I don't want it to be just another mode. Give it leaderboards for online, and then have something to strive for. Make it exactly like your current, what is that? Your current, like, little ranking boards. Like, this could be like the tour rankings, right? That's really cool, right? You can be first place, you're playing against people, and you get like tier ups, and then you get tier rewards based off of all this cool stuff. I want online to be the exact same thing, where they have a weekly, if not a bi-weekly, little kind of tournament based on how many points you have, based on how much you play. So people that really just want to continue playing can potentially get even more points. I'm remembering like Fire Emblem Heroes when they did those Tempest Trials, where they did Tempest Trials and you continuously play and you gain more points, and you get a total amount of points, and that's exactly what you do. I'm thinking of something like that, or if it's just, hey, you know, maybe a ranking system based on how well you do on first place finishes. I don't know. Nintendo can figure out the logistics. I just don't want it to be another mode. I want to be rewards. I want there to be rank ups. I want there to be like little custom things that you get. I think that would be amazing. And of course, last but not least, my number 10 is going to be, don't bring skill levels into the mix. Just don't do it. Unless there's some sort of matchmaking based off of your entire account. Now, this is the entire thing. Pay to win versus free to play. Now, you don't want your online multiplayer to be hard paywalled with characters And I said it once and I'll say it again, like with your Pauline over here, if someone spent $300 on the gacha and was able to get like a level 4 Pauline, and then you went over here and you got some crazy cool like level 3 or level 4 different cars, and then you went over to your gliders and you got like the best gliders, like it's cool that you have them. But if you have different levels of them, I think that should be capped in some sort of way of matchmaking. So when you go to say like, all right, well, what's your account worth? There should be some sort of in-game algorithm that says, all right, well, you have 0 ultra gliders and your current, I don't know, like your commons are what, like 2, 4, 6. You have 6 levels worth of commons, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels worth of supers. So maybe that's like a level 10 or something. Maybe you calculate some sort of algorithm that says you have this many points worth of that, this many points worth of that. Now we're gonna match you up with similar characters or similar players that may have those exact things. So, or bring it back to the good old hidden stats, right? Or don't make them hidden, but like make it like old school Mario Kart where Toad has like high acceleration and Bowser has high top speed. What if they did that for multiplayer? I don't know, man. I'm just thinking right over here, and that's a lot of things that I could think about. So anyway, those are my top 10 things that Mario Kart Tour can potentially be ruined if those things don't get fixed. And like I said earlier, head on over to settings and head on over to the account area, or I'm sorry, no, not account. You want to go over to help and inquiries. Once you're done clicking on that, you guys can then go over to customer support. You guys can go click on feedback, and then you can leave them feedback over here of what you would personally like to see. Do you agree on all 10 of my informative little points here? Then list all of them. Feel free to name drop. Go ahead and put the video link over there. It doesn't matter. We need to tactfully stick up for what's right and what we want to happen. If we don't give them feedback on what's going to happen in the upcoming online inbound multiplayer, if we don't give them feedback of what we'd want to see, then they can just go right off the bat and, you know, get a nasty head start. Like if you hold A at the very beginning of a race and blow out right over here versus getting a rocket start with all of our feedback. Ladies and gents, that's it. We want to see a rocket start. We don't want to see a blowout when it comes to online multiplayer. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video informative, be sure to like it and make sure you share it because we want more people to get on board with giving this feedback to Nintendo via sharing it or going actually into the game and submitting that feedback accordingly. If you guys want even more Mario Kart, make sure you guys are on board with hitting that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and of course, tune in for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.